What's happening, lovely people? So, listen, this is the startup framework that we're going to go through today. My name is Rayan Kareem, and did you know that you can start up any business in less than 6 weeks? I think it'd actually take you a lot less than that to start a business up. But what really is a business, and how can you consider starting up a business to be successful? So let's cut it down to some raw basics, right? A business serves people that have a problem that they need to solve. By serving those people and by solving that problem, a business earns money. That's how they generate revenue. Exactly. So bear with me while I just sort the camera out and get the mic set up properly. What you're seeing in that corner, just on the left-hand side, is the 6-week startup guide. There's a PDF. It's free. It's available. You can get it whenever you want. What we're going to do in this video is give you an overview of the online course of how you can start up your business and earn money in less than 6 weeks by solving a problem for someone. What we're also going to go through, because we might as well while we're here looking at the same PDF, is look at what's the coaching package that sits around it that's optional. So let's recap quickly. You have a free PDF, you have a paid for online course, which we're going through right now, and then you have additional coaching which can overlay that online course, which means it'll just help you apply it, get it right, take your idea and business to market properly and actually captivate your audience. So with no further ado, let's just get into it, right? This is appropriate whether you're 14 or 41, whether you're 17 or 71. If you haven't taken a business to market before, this is going to be even more relevant for you. If you have taken a business to market before, this is going to be very interesting for you because maybe you'll see where you did some things wrong and where things could be even more optimal the next time you do it. I'm hoping you're watching this video because you're going to apply it step by step. That's why we break the modules out step by step so you can apply them step by step. Hence why we have a step-by-step coaching package that comes alongside it. This is not an intellectual exercise. This is something that you actually do alongside the videos. So you build your business as you go. So let me just make this page a bit bigger and I'll have to shrink myself down. So just bear with me quickly while I press some buttons. There we go. I'm small. And the framework we're looking at is going to be nice and big. The window that we're looking at is going to be nice and big. Just bear with me while I play with buttons and get this right for you all. Nearly there. Okay, hopefully you can see that a bit better now. And you can see me here in the corner. Okay, so this is what we've got. The 6-week startup guide. So if you're looking at this guide, first of all, you're going to see some really good introduction just to frame things about, how things actually work. So for example, how this program actually works. If I take you into my mural, which I love, murals are a brilliant tool. What you're going to see is this. This is not just theory and it's not just a motivational speech, right? This is not just any other online business course and I'm not just another self-proclaimed guru. I'm someone who's actually been there, done it. I've helped massive businesses take new products to market, improve those products and gain an audience. I've also helped them improve the already long-standing products that they've already got. And lo and behold, they always use the same method and framework. They always use the same bunch of tricks. I've also used this method to start my own ideas, take them to market quickly, validate them with the audience that I had in mind, and to experiment from there. Now, this is the startup framework. It's 6 weeks long or 6 sessions long. Maybe you get through it faster than 6 weeks, but the intention is 6 weeks. And then after that, once you have something that's working, once you've generated revenue and you've proven that you can solve that problem for that customer that you had in mind, then we have a scale up package which dovetails this course very well. So if you're already earning money, maybe you want to jump straight ahead into that scale up online course instead of this startup course because you've already started up, you've already got revenue, you've already proven there's a product market fit. But what we're going to do At the same time, if you have already scaled up, maybe going back to some of these fundamentals would also be good for you. So let's go through the overview just so you can get a feel of what's actually in this program. Again, the intention is to take a big idea, turn it into cash flow in 6 weeks or less. So step one is getting a really solid idea of who you serve. So that's what we're going to see here if we zoom in. We have to get a really good idea of who's that person. Who actually are we targeting? You may not need a picture, or you can draw one if you can, and if you know someone or you've got a picture of someone that you think fits the boot, then perfect. It's really a good visual aid, but it's not necessary. But find a name at least for this person. Who is it that you're trying to solve? What, as you see in the details here, what job do they have? How old are they? Have they been to university? Have they not been to university? Do they have work experience? What is it that their life experience is like? What's their lifestyle? What sort of social class are they in? What's their behaviours? What's their attributes? What other brands do they like? And then once you've got a good idea of that person, then you want to start looking at what their goals are in relation to what you're trying to help them with. So you can start by thinking, okay, what's the problem they're trying to solve? Or you can start by saying, okay, what are they looking to gain here? So that's always the first step. Who are you solving this problem for? Once you've got a good understanding of that person, we plop them in the middle of this diagram. And that is pretend that Peter in this example was in the middle of this diagram. And we just start getting a good understanding at a very high level. What is that person? What is Peter in this example? What is Peter thinking and feeling? What's he hearing? What does he see? What does he say and do? When he's about to engage with a product, before he engages with a product, while he's engaging with a product or service, and after. Like, what's he going through? What's his human experience? And what are the pains and gains of that experience? Once we've got that high level framing, we know who, and we know what their experience is, then we start to look at, okay, let's zoom out from all that information, that brainstorming, and let's have a think about, okay, what is that vision statement? What is that customer focused outcome that we're really trying to help someone with? What's the problem that we're trying to solve? So, for example, if you were starting a window cleaning business, the problem you're trying to solve is quite obvious, right? There's a lot of people with dirty windows. They can't get up to the higher levels, or they can't be bothered to go outside the front of the house and clean their own windows. Maybe they don't have the skills, they don't have the time, they don't want to put the effort in, but they do have the disposable income. And maybe they don't trust the last window cleaner that was there. So if all of that was the context, what would be the customer vision statement? Well, you would say, no window in this area should be dirty ever again, because we should be able to find a way to solve this problem for everyone. So therefore, the vision statement may be, every customer or every person in this area has clean, shining windows. You could jazz it up a bit, you can frame it a bit differently. As a result, what's your business mission? Right? If as a customer I have clean, shiny windows, your business mission is to make sure you can clean as many windows as possible. But we want to get a bit more specific, right? So we want to use the objectives and key results framework, which actually started in Google as a way of them framing their rapid expansion. We want to start understanding what that looks like for them. So we frame it in the terms of what's really the clear, audacious goal or objective that we're going after, and how do you define that goal? So if the objective is to make sure that every house has clean, shiny windows, we then make sure that we can measure that, right? So let's say we want to make sure that we want to do some research, and in our area that we chose, we might say that there's 100 houses. So we want to make sure that 100 houses, we have cleaned 100 houses by the end of the next quarter. Yeah, in the end of the next 3 months. So by the 31st of March, for example, we will have cleaned 100 houses and all of their windows, right? For example. Okay, so that's the first bit, right? Who are you solving? What's their high level experience? How can you frame your business activity around a customer-centric vision for what they want, what does that mean for what you're going to focus on as your first and primary business mission? And then how do you measure that, right? So you might find that you've got more than one objective, and what you will definitely find is that within one objective, you'll have more than one key result. Below this video, you'll see other videos that explain more about the OKR framework, as it's called, and there'll be a cheat sheet for you to complete, and there'll be cheat sheets for this, finding out who you're serving. I'll put the PDF for this diagram here so you can solve that too, and then obviously we'll have a sheet for you to go through those 3 steps there. So that's all part of the online course. You go through that. Then we go through, and that's you kicked off now, right? That's you started. You've now begun. You now know who you're serving, what they're going through, how you're gonna, what activity matters for you most. So then we're gonna be really honest with ourselves. We wanna create rhythm and momentum for your business activity. So we're gonna get really sharp and clear. Maybe you have started some activity already. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you've got loads of other stuff happening in your life. Maybe you haven't. But what we first need to do is the people that are going to be running the business, whether that's you on your own or a family business or you and a couple of friends or past associates, we need to get you all together and you need to sit down and you need to brainstorm, right? What are based on what we've just gone through in the last step, what are the things we need to start doing? Make a list. And all those list of things need to be outcome focused, right? So we need to start marketing, we need to start direct sales, we need to start a website, we need to start having a brand name, we need to start meeting regularly together to discuss how we're moving our objectives and key results forward. You know, you'll come up with a whole bunch of things, right? What do you need to stop? Maybe you need to stop going down to pubs on Fridays. Maybe you need to stop putting in extra hours and extra work at your normal 9 to 5. Maybe you need to stop giving so much of your time and attention somewhere else so that you can focus on this business. What do you need to continue doing? Maybe you guys already share ideas well with each other. Maybe you've got a good bonding. Maybe you like different areas and facets of how you already got this business off the ground, or you like particular things about the way that you approach your life. Continue getting up at 5 a.m. and going to the gym first thing in the morning, for example. Continue finishing the day at a healthy time so that you can incorporate family life and other things that are important for your wider holistic experience of life. And, you know, maybe you've already started some marketing or some sales. Maybe you've started generating revenue. That's probably quite possible. Maybe you've decided that, I can make some money out of cleaning windows. I am making money out of cleaning windows, but let's start a proper business out of it now. So maybe it's continue the style of lead generation and lead nurturing that you have at the moment, for example. The next step is to take all those different ideas, put them in an axis of value and effort. Now, we want to make sure that we're focusing on high effort and low value. So anything in that top left-hand corner would be a dream, right? Because if it's a higher value idea that will move the business objectives forward with low effort, fantastic. If it's a low value but high effort idea, probably not something we want to prioritize right now. You take all those ideas, you put them in a framework, right? It's called a workflow, so that you can visualize the work that you need to do. So you just write all the ideas down that you know you need to do. They'll be in your to-do column. And then you can use Trello, or you can use a physical wall, or you can even just use a pen and paper if you really like. And then you just start to move this work across. Once you've started it, it's in progress. Everyone now knows what's in progress. And obviously once it's done, you have that moment of reflection to say, wow, look at all that work we've got done. So then all you want to do then is have a look at, right, we've got a week ahead of us. If you wanted to, you could add Saturday and Sunday onto here as well. And you start to think about, okay, from this list of things that we need to do, is there any musts? Like, do we have to do certain things on certain days? And if so, who is going to be on point to do them and make sure that they happened? You know, do we have particular customer interactions that need to happen at a particular moment? Do we have pre-established meetings or pre-established client visits, for example, that need to happen. You just plan the week effectively. What you're also going to do in that time is acknowledge how are you guys going to stay focused and in communication for that week. If you're on your own, it doesn't matter so much. You've just got to manage yourself. But if you are with a small team of people, then you need to think about, okay, are we going to talk every day? Are we going to keep in contact on WhatsApp? Are we going to talk every morning and make sure that we're coordinating who needs help? What did we finish yesterday? What's the focus for today? If you manage yourselves daily, just a quick 5-10 minute meeting, you'll realise you'll get a lot more done. If you had 2 daily meetings, maybe you'd get even more done because you're keeping yourselves accountable for progress. That being said, no one likes meetings for meeting's sake, and you have to make sure that everyone buys into them and that it's an effective use of time. You also need to decide who's going to run that meeting. So that's good. So what have we done so far? We're basically saying, who's it we need to solve this problem for? What's their experience? How can we stay laser focused? What really do we need to start, stop and continue doing? From those ideas, what's the high value, low effort ideas? Let's make a big list of all the things we need to do in that order. Let's plan it out over the course of a week if there's any musts that need to happen. And outside of that, it's literally a case of let's just blast through this to-do list as effectively as possible. Effectively means high quality at speed, without missing anything or creating bad work that needs to be redone again and again and again. So by the end of the week, you'll stop, you'll reflect, and you'll be able to improve that process, right? And so that's how you start getting into a rhythm of getting things done. As part of that weekly rhythm, you start to develop this, and this is what we call momentum. And you'll see we actually start that in week 5 here. So in momentum, that's where we start to say, right, okay, we've done a bunch of activity that we wanted to move our objectives and key results forward by that activity. We were moving those OKRs forward because we wanted to achieve our business mission, and our business mission was trying to satisfy our customer vision. So, how is all that going? What's our results? Have we managed to achieve our objectives? How far through those 100 windows that we wanted to clean? How many have we actually cleaned now as a result of the effort we've just put in? That's a good opportunity to think about, are you looking at the customer vision in the right way? Have you thought about that first business mission properly? Is it the right mission? Did you design the OKRs in an effective way so that the results are actually generating revenue for your business? Once you've done that, you can then move over to a full end-to-end sales and marketing funnel. So what you see, you've got traffic and then leads and relationship, conversations, then you make a sale, you deliver the product or service, you stay in a relationship with them. Eventually some people become super fans, they buzz about your product, they want more, and they tell their friends about you. And then that's your duty at that point to upgrade them. How can you give them a VIP experience, right? How can you make them an ambassador? Like, how can you upgrade your relationship with them now? But this is a point of saying, look, you've tried all this effort, you've planned all this work, you've done all this activity. So what's the stats and facts alongside your end-to-end marketing funnel? How much traffic, how many eyeballs and attention have you really generated? From those eyeballs and attention, how much potential business has come of it? From that potential business, i.e. your leads, how many of them have you actually ended up in a relationship with? From that initial relationship, how many of them are you in frequent conversation with? They're getting to know you a bit more. They're getting to understand what you do a bit more. Then quite simply, how many sales have you made? How many of those sales have you fulfilled or delivered? And then how many people are still in a relationship with you after that delivery? And it might be a bit early for super fans at this point, but maybe not. You might have people buzzing about you already. And then therefore, how many super fans and how many people can you upgrade at this stage? And that is a really good way of getting really good momentum and also keeping yourself laser focused. So your OKRs should move that sales and marketing funnel forward in relation to your business mission and your customer vision. If things aren't quite working, as in if your OKRs or your objectives and key results aren't actually helping you achieve that customer vision, have you got the right customer vision? Have you thought about your mission properly? Is it actually that customer that you're trying to target? Was that really their experience? Were you right to be thinking that way, or is their experience different? So that's an overview of what we'll go through step by step. And when we do the coaching side of things, we do it over 12 weeks, not 6. So we say to you, look, you can kick this off. That'll take a week to kick this off. You can get into a good rhythm. That will take you probably less than a week. Probably you can even smash these two together in the same week. If you're doing it by yourself, you could do that very quickly. So within the first week, you're up and running. And all you then need to do is spend the next, I would say, 2 weeks. So you're on week 3, then you pause, and then you say, right, how's things going? Are we measuring the right things? What's our results? How's our sales and marketing funnel? You can put some stats and facts against the statistics, and off you go, right? Simple. If you're doing it with us through a coaching mechanism, this is our timeline. We go a bit slower, a bit more deliberate. We want you to live and breathe it, and we want you to walk away having finished this course, knowing how to do this forever for yourself. So we start off with a kickoff, and that is to go through this diagram here. And we may start to then colour in some of the details of the persona's experience. The last 2 hours is to finish that off. So to finish off that persona's experience and to really make sure you're targeting the right strategy and definitions for that strategy to make that happen. So that will take us about 2 weeks. We do 2 hours a week. After that, we go into rhythm. Now with this rhythm, what we want to create is getting you guys into a regular rhythm and momentum, so you can build momentum from the rhythm of this process here. So we want to spend at least 2 weeks with you, making sure as a team or even just on your own, you are getting a really good idea of what you can stop, start and continue doing to make your delivery of the OKRs more effective. We also want to make sure that you know how to prioritize these ideas most effectively, how to knock them down into a visualized way of working so you can see your workflow and make progress, and how you can make sure that you don't miss anything that's important while you do that. So we'll do that with you whether you're on your own or whether you're on a team. It's the same price. It doesn't matter how many people are there. You're a startup, so you're going to be a small team of less than 9 anyway, so that's okay. And then we'll do that for 2 weeks. We get to week 5, and now we're really going to be, the rubber's really going to be hitting the road, right? You're going to be in really strong force now. You're going to know what is working, what isn't working. You'll be used to working with each other. You'll know if your OKRs are right or wrong. You would have validated whether that customer vision is the thing to go after. You would have validated whether that is or isn't their actual experience of the customer, and whether that is indeed the right type of customer to go after. If you need to change any of those things, we're on hand to help you change that in the middle of the coaching. That's what we're here for. Let's say that everything has gone blindingly well from the first decisions that we've made. Everything's going great. By week 5, you're really starting to fly, right? Because things are working. You've prioritized the right activities. You all know what you're doing. You all know what must happen and when it must happen. You're all flying through the rest of the to-do list in the most effective way possible, at the highest quality and at the fastest speed, with no mistakes, as few mistakes as humanly possible. And then now we're going to start just recapping the customer vision, the business mission. Potentially we'll find the second business mission to start to look at because you've achieved that one, and we'll get some stats against this marketing funnel so that we can really start to see the hard and fast numbers behind the business that's driving the revenue. And we'll do that every week up until the 12th week. By the end of things, you'll be in a regular rhythm of meeting as a team, reviewing your work, improving yourselves as a team, looking at what's really driving the business, getting used to prioritizing that value work, and therefore having a very successful business quite quickly. So that is an overview of the Startup Any Business package. As we say, this online course is a 6-week 6-week course, you can self-apply it, and then we do coaching over 12 weeks. Potentially, you'll speak to me and you'll say, Ryan, I've gone through the startup method, we've done the online course, I've read the PDF, I really enjoyed it, got a lot from it, we've started something, and I think we just need a little bit of a helping hand making sure that things are working correctly. Or you might say, we need a facilitator in our team. We're not so good at keeping each other accountable or honest. We're all friends or we're all family. It gets a bit awkward. So maybe you need some help for 12 weeks just settling in to that new rhythm and that new way of being together, in which case we'll help you. And we'll go through the same steps, make sure that you've nailed everything. All that we might do is change the timeline to best suit you. So for example, you might say, look, we've already kicked off. We don't want to spend 2 weeks in a kickoff. We want to do that all within the same week. No problem, we got you. We can make that happen. Then you want to get into rhythm as soon as possible. So by week 2, we've got you in rhythm. Potentially even in week 1, if that's what that's what you thought was best for you guys, we'll do that for you as well. Then as quickly as we can move through rhythm, we could then move into momentum. So if you wanted to, because you've already started and gone through the online course, really by week 2 or week 3, we could be at momentum, which means you'd have an extra 9 weeks of coaching support to really make sure that your business is flying as fast as possible, as effectively as possible, in the shortest amount of time. So that's an overview of the online course, and that's an overview of the coaching that supplements it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're able to follow me throughout all of the video, and I hope you're able to get a lot out of just following where I was pointing on the mural as we went through. So check it out. Looking forward to your feedback, looking forward to your thoughts as always, right? So see you next time. Peace.